Wake up, gamers, because you're listening to the Big Think Dimension with Dan and Bob Video Games.
Bob, we don't have a job to do.
Oh, thank God.
KZ Excellent. And Mr. Feel. Whoa, here on GigaBoots.
Maria Condens. Wait, we're not in Podlords.
Oh, what?
I was like, man, this is going fast.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll start leaving now.
Man, this strain hits hard. Yeah, I guess we're here to talk about video games.
Okay. Hello.
I'm actually video game sober for 2 weeks straight. No, we played Enter the Matrix and Path of Neo in excitement for the new movie.
Oh, hell yeah. Excited for the new exciting movie.
I rented both of those and I'm like, these are great. I'm 12 years old.
I owned Enter the Matrix on an original Xbox alongside Drake and the 99 Dragons.
You know, chat kept telling me that Path of Neo / Enter the Matrix have a very strong Drake and the 99 Dragons energy.
They do, because I'm like, this is really hard. That's what a child thinks, the spectrum is. This is hard, and that's the only thing.
Yes. Yeah, back in the day, I rented Enter the Matrix and wasn't exactly grabbed by it. It seemed like a game I could probably go through, but I had no interest. So I just ultimately didn't. Path of Neo, I played a little bit and said, hell no.
I could have sworn I beat Enter the Matrix back in the day, but after we got past stage 1, I didn't recognize anything. I was like, I don't think I beat it.
That's really funny.
Guys, I don't think I beat this game. I'm really scared, you guys. I mean, this is good though, Bob.
Yeah.
Because how could we have known that Enter the Matrix, when you play as Ghost, is just a really long cuck arc?
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that Ghost's whole story is, I love Trinity, but she doesn't love me. She sees I got brother zoned.
Yeah, no, yes. That was terrible. The Oracle had to tell him he got brother zoned. That's the most insane use of the Oracle yet.
Also, the actor for Ghost is the worst in the original trilogy. He is so bad.
He's like if Niobe acted even less.
Right, which is impressive.
Yes. It's really weird. At some point, everyone decided that being in the Matrix meant never emoting your face.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they thought that. Apox, Switch, Mouse, they all moved their face. I don't know why they thought that, but at some point they all got convinced this was the case. So Enter the Matrix is really cool. You get to follow the quest of the Logos crew, which is 3 whole people. For some reason, every other ship has like 5 to 8, but they have 3. You get to follow them as they do something, which is fit neatly into the cracks of events of the film.
Not that neatly, but yeah. Like okay, the Keymaster escapes once before he escapes in the Matrix Reloaded.
Yeah.
And it makes literally no sense.
No.
They're like, yeah, we let him out so that he could be found by Ghost and Niobe and then immediately recaptured. It's like, what do you mean?
Yeah, it's real rough. It's real rough. It's like, did you know that movie just happened twice? It's kind of the energy it had.
We also find out that every character that we meet, like all the programs, have an incredibly flat personality where they do the exact same thing to everyone they meet. Like Persephone is like, I need to kiss you, Ghost. And Seraph is like, I need to fight you, Ghost.
Everyone just has their one character bit they do always to everyone. You would think it was unique to Neo, but no.
No.
Seraph needs to fight Niobe. Yeah. Persephone apparently needs to kiss Niobe.
Also, Seraphine even needs to fight that other captain I can't remember the name of. The black guy?
Yes. Oh, man. He was really one of the background characters in those films.
Yes.
Oh, God, help me.
It's super strange that that's even there because it's like, yeah, he fights Neo because he's the one. He needs to confirm that. He doesn't need to fight every one of these other people in the Matrix. That's stupid.
Apparently, he needs to fight literally everyone. Always. And then, if you remember, they get dumped in front of the theater screen that's playing the actual fight. Well, that's Path of Neo.
Path of Neo.
Path of Neo is when it starts going up its own ass.
Path of Neo is so much more hackish. It's insane.
It is really funny. It's really funny how hackish Path of Neo is. But I enjoyed Enter the Matrix. I could see myself playing it again ever. I would like to see the Niobe side. Honestly,
I could probably bear through it again after figuring out how to bust the game open.
Right. And like Ghost, she has to have a different story from Ghost. It can't be a fourth person in the Matrix films who's in love with Trinity.
Yeah, you'd think not, right?
I would hope not. But I think that would be neat to see someday. The Path of Neo I never want to see again. Playing that game sucks. It's like one of the roughest action games ever.
Yeah, it's so much worse than basically every other PS2 action game I can think of.
Which is insane.
It's trying to have like the Batman style combat, but it can't do it at all.
Yeah, because it's way too early for that. It's not polished enough for that.
Right?
They keep adding hyper situational cool moves that you don't get to see enough. Mm-hmm. They aren't like a normal combo move or move set in a normal sense. It's more like if you're using focus and up against a wall like this specifically, you could do this thing.
Or if you're using focus and you get Neo to punch one guy and then a different guy and a third guy, then he'll do this cool move. But it's like, I can't control him to that extent, man. I don't know what you want.
Yeah, because like a truly terrible action game, your stick in the direction you're pushing it has absolutely no effect on which way you're attacking. Like, he's just going to attack what he wants to attack. And it's not even always the person closest to you.
Yeah, it's really random. And also it has that bizarre mechanic. I can't figure out where Neo, for no reason, gets like Matrix bubble above his head and he can't punch.
I kept calling it the Matrix bees.
Yeah.
We couldn't figure out if enemies were doing a specific attack to cause us to be afflicted by the Matrix bees. But Neo would get like little Matrix bubble or bees above his head, and then he would just stop doing things. And it was so small. It took me a while to even notice it.
Yeah. Yeah, it just seemed like the button stopped working. And then you see that there is a visual cue, so they know that they're doing it.
So this is the best way to summarize Path of Neo to anyone who has seen the films but hasn't played the game. In Path of Neo, you do an hour and a half of tutorials, most of which are in the Kung Fu learning moment in the movie. So that thing that was 2.7 seconds in the first film is now an hour or longer. When they kidnap Morpheus and you need to escape that building in the sewer beneath it now becomes over an hour and a half, I think.
Yeah, every single sequence from the movie you can think of, imagine that being 3 to 5 times as long, and you have about what they've made.
Yeah, and they keep doing it too. They even get up to the Matrix Reloaded, and they invent a character for Neo to run into in the Merovingian's chateau. And then they invent a pocket dimension for Neo to slip into that is this giant, how would you say? There are floating platforms in space. And
it's like an MC Escher.
Yeah, it's an MC Escher fucking room. So there's like stairs going sideways and dropping down from the ceiling and walls everywhere. And you spend like 2 of the last hours of this game in the pocket dimension.
Fighting giant ants. Which are so weird and out of place that you think they're from a different game.
Yeah, no, it's really funny. I was like, why are they giant ants? And it's all to save this person who matters to you so much, as the Merovingian puts it.
Yes.
This lady you've never met.
He has like a big, you need to save your friends moment. There's 3 doors. You could save any of them. And it's kind of implied that it's like Morpheus, Trinity, and this new lady. But instead, it's just the new lady.
She's behind all 3.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah, Path of Neo's loopy. I never want to touch that game again.
If it felt good at all, I'd be fine playing it.
Yeah.
It, like we said earlier, it's the worst feeling PS2 action game you can think of.
Which is impressive because there's a lot of Bujengais and Chaos Legions and...
Like Jet Li Rise of Honor for PS1 is such a higher tier game, it's not even comparable.
You mean PS2, right?
No.
What? I thought What?
I'm pretty sure Jet Li Rise of Honor is PS1.
Unless you're thinking of Jackie Chan's Stunt Master on PS1.
Jet Li Rise to Honor is a PS2 game.
Okay. All right.
I was like,
My bad.
There's no way they made 2 games with that similar of a name back to back. No fucking way. So Bob, would you recommend people check out?
Absolutely not. But maybe
okay.
watch the cutscenes to see just how much of hacks the Wachowskis are.
I don't know. It's really great when they come on screen and talk about how smart they are.
Yeah, they literally come on screen during the ending to tell you how smart the original ending was and spit out a ton of philosophical terminology. And it's like, yeah, you really are just professing how stupid you are. Good job.
I don't know. They just channeled the architect from the second film
Yes.
in that scene. And I'm like, is this a funny joke? Oh, okay. Whatever. We're doing the new ending. The new ending's fine.
The new ending would have been great if it actually played out like what you did it play out like, where we play Sonic music.
Yeah, it should have had some, Crush 40 music play. That would have been fucking amazing. That's what we did on our stream because we knew the stream was doomed.
Yeah.
Like YouTube's going to see movie clips and go,
Oh, yeah. This whole game is just nothing but movie clips.
Like 20 minutes worth at least.
They didn't even make sense the way they put them in, because the movie clips will play before a cut or before a new action scene, but show you things that happen hours after the action scene you're about to play.
But they'll also show you things that already happened because they're just cutting clips of the movies together in the most stylish way they could without any idea of what it's leading from or to.
Yeah.
A lot of the time,
It's bizarre.
it is truly bizarre. It's very, very weird that they cut up gameplay with that. Very weird stuff. But yeah, that's the Matrix games.
Cool.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, what's up?
I don't remember playing anything else.
Technically, we played Halo Infinite on Friday.
Oh, fuck. Bob and Phil played Halo Infinite.
Strap
Yep.
in. Your time limit is 45 minutes.
First things first. I made a critical error.
Okay.
I watched the new South Park COVID special immediately before going into Halo Infinite.
Me too.
I didn't
Which,
get it at first because I did Halo first. I get it, and I'm scared for you.
where Stan's Alexa is his bitch girlfriend, and Quirky Tana is basically the same character.
Yeah, it's really upsetting that how close these two things are.
I'm not as negative on this game as you guys are. Probably because I don't have a really strong feeling towards Halo, but I could see why the depression that this level of mediocrity.
Yeah, that's
Could
the main
evoke.
thing. It's just incredibly mediocre.
It's so aggressively mediocre.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
No,
also
I don't.
buggy as shit.
Yes.
I don't care about Halo much at all, and I still thought that sucked pretty bad.
Like the most fun thing in that game is maxing the grappling hook and getting the super Spartan ultra punch that stuns that just kills Bruce and like you can do it to a crowd of grunts and kill them all.
Yeah, it's funny.
But you will constantly clip through the ground doing that.
Yes, you will. It's funny.
And,
Man, I wish we got that.
One time I clipped into a wall and didn't fall and had to restart the mission and lost 40 minutes of progress.
Oh, no, it's not funny anymore.
That's terrible. Yeah, I watched Kyle Bosman go through this on his stream too. He was playing on heroic even.
Where he got stuck in a wall and it checkpointed him.
Yeah, it checkpointed him in the wall, so he had to restart the whole mission.
I was like, ugh, come on.
Yeah, the checkpointing in this is atrocious. Like, what the fuck? This very obviously wasn't cooked. Even the fucking half-eaten thing they sent out was not cooked, and you already released the multiplayer separate. You should have just delayed this another 6 months.
It needed another year. It really did.
Yeah, an entire full
I mean,
12 months.
I mean, if it had another full 12 months, maybe it wouldn't have had 2 levels.
Yeah. That's the other thing where it just feels like there's so little game here. Like, in what they do with the story, it feels like it's a quarter of a story.
Yes.
And they put a little thing to the end of it to make it feel like it wrapped up, and it doesn't feel satisfying at all.
Well, this really had. I said this on Twitter, where this game's story has the energy of a Marvel event comic that Brian Michael Bendis wrote.
What?
Okay.
Because all the events he writes is like, I'm going to introduce 14 new villains with names like Gorthax the Slayer that it is impossible to give the smallest fuck about.
I'm going to release the Kryptonian killers.
And that is what this game's story is. The only purpose it seems to have is to set up the next story and completely delete everything in Halo 4 and 5.
I mean, yeah, it didn't. Most of Infinite's story is, hey, we skipped a game.
Yeah, it's in my mind, the only reason you do something like this, where you skip what is clearly a game and clearly the main event, is if you're going to have the player go back and play it or see it heavily throughout the story.
No, people don't like that, so they're never going to do it.
And 343's had that problem this whole time.
Yeah.
Where people didn't react well to the Didact, so now he's killed off screen.
Yeah, in a comic book.
People don't like the Halo 5 Cortana Guardian arc, so now that's skipped entirely.
Which is really weird. I don't think people didn't like that. People didn't like Locke.
I know that.
But they don't know what people didn't like, so they just nuked the whole thing.
Well, they definitely reacted to Locke, all right.
No, not just Locke. Every Spartan is dead but Master Chief.
Spoilers, I guess. That game, I don't.
I could tell you what's going to happen in the next 2 games, but I will not.
You should.
I'll save that in case we want to do a game of premonition.
Halo Infinite Season 2.
Yeah, I have. I have a pretty good idea of what's going on.
Yeah, I know, because you literally turned into that dude who went to your GameStop and told you the plot of Kingdom Hearts 3 in 2008.
No, because I have any idea. That dude.
What? Reminder, half of the characters in Kingdom Hearts 3 probably didn't exist in 2008.
No, they didn't.
And much like that, fewer than half of the characters in Halo exist as of Halo Infinite.
Jesus.
Hey, it's got a really good ensemble cast of 5.
Okay, I'm going to show those out here.
What?
Sure, yeah.
The pilot sucks.
Yeah, he's fucking terrible.
Like
Every character in this is so fucking bad.
I thought he'd be worse. I wasn't that upset with him.
His whole story thing of I'm the everyman who's stuck here doing this thing to help Chief just doesn't sell at all when you immediately start getting real Marines. Like that's so that's so insane. It feels like it's from a different script.
This is one of those insane comparisons that I can't help but make because it's what's stuck in my brain. The way the pilot delivers his lines and the way he's like indignant with Chief has the exact same energy as the president from Duke Nukem Forever.
I thought you were going to talk about the Last Jedi girl boss. Who is like,
no.
You can't do anything.
I'm gonna run this movie.
Get your penis out of the control room.
Okay, thunk.
I'm gonna be honest. I fucking forgot about that character. Most of the Last Jedi has escaped me. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, it honestly, the pilot really. I'm like, I'm not a fan of you. I'm not a fan of you. And then you get to that scene where he gets freed, and then Chief starts mansplaining the torture he just went through.
Oh, man.
And I'm like, what are you doing, Chief? And then you get to the end where he's all happy. Let's do it. Yay. Yippee. And I'm like, this is the worst character.
Bing, bing, wahoo.
Yeah, I'm trying to make, what's his name?
Echo 216.
No, I'm sorry. The brute.
Escharam or Atriox?
Yeah, Escharam.
Okay.
Them trying to make him as a sympathetic villain in the last 12 seconds is like the hardest sell ever because he didn't have any character and then you try to do that.
He was a soldier.
Just questioning whether or not he did the right thing.
Yeah.
Have you ever like played a game and been like, the story is only this to sell toys?
Because
Because they made a toy of every single one of those Spartan killers, and they didn't matter for dick.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true.
They're what people joked about FPS bosses being in 2008, or it's just like just drop a normal enemy there and like give them 100 times the health.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
same thing.
It's absurd.
That's every boss fight in this game.
Yes.
Yeah, it sure is.
I think the funniest thing about our stream is Bob just beats the Spartan killers on his first try like it was nothing.
Yeah, that's what happened with me too. Because I just got a ghost, and I'm like, I'm just gonna shoot you from 100 miles away. You will have no answer.
I accidentally killed that other Spartan killer, the one that they were really trying to sell. the sword guy.
Tremonius?
Tremonius, I guess.
Wait, no, Tremonius is the first guy you fight.
Yeah,
You're talking about
the
Blade
elite
Dude.
Yeah, the elite. Those two blades.
The one that's like the cloaked fight.
Yeah.
Which are the awful fights.
But yeah, I killed him completely on accident. I was still like looking around the room trying to find him, and I was like, wait, he's dead? It's playing audio as if he's dead? What happened?
What did you do?
I don't know, man.
Oh, you didn't even like shoot?
I was shooting sometime around when he died. I think he accidentally used his sword on a bomb next to him and killed himself.
Maybe he deloaded. He played too long. It memory leaked him out.
Yeah, so this game was, like Phil said, extremely mediocre, which isn't okay for Halo.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
I have to say this. When I killed that guy, I shot him in the face with a rocket, and he T-posed in the air and then despawned.
I wish he saved the clip.
Yeah, that makes sense. As much as this game is just completely not done, I expect that.
I'm impressed by how many bad ideas are in this. Where it's like, you guys talked at length about the batteries.
Yeah.
And those are indeed very bad.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also shit like, if you do any of the open world content, I would have been fine. It would have been lazy, but I would be fine if it's like, okay, go to this base, now kill 3 waves of guys. Whatever. That's what I would expect.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's like, blow up these things, and I'm like, okay, well, you have to do this animation where you pull and turn the switch first, stupid, and then you have to wait 30 seconds for it to come out of the ground and become damageable.
Yeah, like every mission that takes place in the open world is hit a button that then opens this thing that you shoot way too much. Like, so many of the things are just bullet sponges you have to shoot.
It didn't even feel like it was taking damage. They didn't animate it right, so I just always threw a grenade instead. Because I'm like, well, this does it in one.
What I fucking... It's lame as shit when it's like, Chief, you gotta blow up these, you gotta sabotage these repair bases for the vehicles. It's like, I have a Scorpion. I'll shoot them. Oh, no, you can't. You have to go inside the building, walk behind them, and punch a control panel. Not with melee, because that would be any sort of a thing. You have to inspect it so Master Chief can do a really long animation where he punches it. And I'm like, what? Why? Why couldn't it just be, destroy these 3 things, Chief? Arrows appear above them. Destroy them by shooting them or throwing grenades.
They haven't looked at open world games.
And the absolute, like, one of the worst things about this is at no point did I use anything but the grappling hook. Not even for the cloaked guy, because I was like, I can see him enough.
Yep.
Because swapping grenades or swapping armor powers is so inexplicably clunky.
Yeah, it was something they didn't have for multiplayer, so obviously it should just be bad, right?
Like, why do I have to... Why... And if... It feels worse than the double tapping to get certain weapons in DMC to DMC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they could have even done just you cycle through them by hitting the right and left, and it would feel better than what it does.
That would have been fine.
Or they could have, just let you select 2 that you actually like and swap between them easily like that, like on a menu. And the game could pause when you go to the menu. I know, crazy.
Yeah, I don't understand why it doesn't pause when you go to the map screen. Why? Are you trying to be Dark Souls? This game, you don't have co-op. This game isn't online. What are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like they clearly designed some element of it thinking there would be online co-op or something else.
But yeah, like I was saying earlier, it really feels like this is a very small fraction of what the game was supposed to be, and they put in a bunch of things to make it feel like it was the end of a game at the end. Because
they're like, we have to put a dramatic cutscene between Chief and the pilot to let you know that they're like at least halfway through the story.
I can't believe how fucking pathetic that the second to last level is. Where it's fucking Escharam's paintball arena.
I tried to warn you guys without saying literally what it was, which is why I compared it to look up, now look down.
Yeah, it's the way you described it. I'm like, this seems hyperbolic and really mean. clearly it's got to be wrong. It can't be this.
Okay, I finished the first 2 of these paintball arenas. And then Dan's like, get ready for the third. And I was like, no, you can't be serious. I fully believed him. I was like, it's doing it again.
I should have made a clip of that. His face was precious. I just bullshit. Because they use terms. It's like basic training, advanced training. And then I was like, you ready for the elite training?
God damn it, Dan! You told me off content right after you beat it that there were 2, and I still thought there would be 3 while playing. I'm like, I'm not fully upset yet. They need to do another.
I would have been fine with this gimmick if it had looked like the Blood Arena,
Right.
where it's just like, this is the Banished Coliseum where they prove their mettle and whether or not you're good enough to become a Banished. But it's just a fucking paintball arena.
And that's something they could have used in multiplayer.
Is this a level in multiplayer?
Not yet.
Yeah, it's technically not.
Fuck you then.
Not yet. It felt somewhat reminiscent to the fucking Spartan training ground a little bit.
Yeah, this might be better than some of the multiplayer levels we got.
This really feels like they started development in like early 2019 and made like a bunch of horrible open world content, and then Staten came in and was like, this is all dog shit. We have to make actual levels. And they made one at the start, like 4 versions of the same level for everything else. And then I guess I'm generous enough to consider the Scorpion set piece before the paintball arena is a level, because it's basically structured like a Halo level.
It is, yeah.
And there's no optional objectives in that part of the map.
I started talking to Dan about how this is like, we go to the astral change budget dimension whenever we go underground. It's like the same room repeated.
You do.
So often. It's so insane.
The first time is really explicit because you have... Here's a long catwalk over a long hallway, and it has a lower level with ramps that come up to the catwalk. You have that room like 4 times in the second level.
Yeah.
And in the later ones, it gets a little bit more distinct. But I'm like, man, this is dire.
Yeah, even some of the later ones, like, I just went through the same exact hallway with a band 3 times in a row. It got to the point where I didn't feel like ever stopping to fight anyone. I just grappled through everything because there's nothing in this game designed to stop you. Except for when they lock a door.
Except for when it's like, Chief, you can't push button to open door. There are enemies. Shoot bang.
At some point, I still want to go back and play play more open world stuff. But when I played of it, I'm like, this is less variety than Assassin's Creed 1. Come on.
I did it until I found enough points to max out the grappling hook, and then I was done.
Yeah, I should have done that too, but we honestly got roped into the end of the game like way before I thought we were.
Yeah, I didn't realize how much the end of the game was a mudslide, so I was like, we'll be fine. We can do it after this. And I said that hours from the end, and I was wrong.
Yeah, you're just locked in after that tank segment, I think, is when it just completely cuts off.
Yeah, they kind of lock you in for like a string of 4 linear levels in a row, and I was like, what?
There's not even that many of these area of optional objectives in the secondary, so it really just feels like that they changed direction at some point, and we're like, no.
Yeah,
he was even talking to Dan about how the second area didn't feel like it had that much. I feel like there's like 3 FOBs, and that was it. And I did one of those.
I really think any future campaigns are going to be a lot more linear because Staten is just like, no, this is bad.
I can't imagine a world where somebody played all the open world stuff here and it's like, man, I hope the next one has even more. I
got really upset when I was like, we have to finish the fight, do all the open world content. It's like, you really ruined that phrase.
That's what finishing the fight is.
Here's another one of those stupid comparisons that I have to say.
I hope it tops the last one.
This will be spoilers, so whatever. So if you care about that, skip ahead. At the end of the game, Quirky Tana, you find out that she's a copy of Cortana without any of Cortana's memories or anything. And she's like, I need a name because I can't just be Anita Weapon. I need to have my own name. And then she like looks at the camera and smirks like it's gonna be Cortana. Like that's obviously what she's gonna ask for her name to be. Have you ever seen Beer Fest?
No.
Well, I'm going to spoil the 15-year-old comedy Beer Fest. A part of it, rather.
I'm like, Beer Fest? No, I've never been. Why are you talking about a thing in Alabama?
So in Beer Fest, there's like a really fat guy character, and he dies. Like he gets dropped into a vat of beer and drowned.
Okay. Sure.
And everybody's like, "Oh fuck, our best team member is here. What are we gonna do?" And so his older brother, his long lost brother, who looks is played by the same actor, shows up and is like, "I'm Phil's brother, Gil." But I really want to get along with you guys. So could you guys do me a favor and call me Phil and pretend like nothing happened and I've always been here from the beginning?
Feel? Slight spoilers for Gundam 00. That exact same thing.
Jesus.
So that's all I could think of was like, they're going to have Cortana be like, to make it easier, can you just pretend I'm the Cortana from the first game and we never address anything from Halo 4 and 5 ever again?
Yeah.
Only it will be 343, seeing people's reactions and then basing their decisions on that.
Yeah, Dan, when this scene happens, is like, yeah, they didn't say it because they didn't want to commit, because then they could just change the name before they.
Yep.
Yeah, because they want to check the temperature on the room.
God.
I'd like to know, while watching his live stream, said the same thing in Bosman's chat, and he's like, "Oh yeah, for sure." I was like, yeah, okay, glad to hear I'm not insane, and that I also took that scene as clearly there are only two things maybe that she could say as her name that meant anything, with Cortana being far and away the most obvious one.
My name be Esharam.
God, I absolutely hate all the 343 sci-fi writing in this of, yeah, anything. There's magical fake particles that are Cortana's memories floating around. I guess that's just the thing now.
Data is magic.
Data is magic.
Okay.
Data is magic. Everything's magic. We have 18 different forms of the proper noun. The Harbinger is just a shittier version of Khan Maker.
I read the art book for some stuff.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about that. You bought the art book.
I bought the
a while
art book
ago
when the game was supposed to come out last year. I was like, yeah, let's see what was supposed to be in this.
Yeah.
Which of course is a ton of stuff we get into that's in that book and not in the game at all.
And it's insane. There's so much of it too.
But the Harbinger,
yeah.
the description for her is like, I wanted to make something that really felt different and unique and not like anything else in the Halo universe. And I was like, I thought she was a female elite when she showed up, and I played every game at launch. You failed, man.
I mean, it's funny because they showed the trailer. There was a trailer really close to launch. And I'm like, hey, did you see that trailer? And Casey's like, nah, I didn't watch that trailer. And I'm like, yeah, there really wasn't anything in it except for, I think it was a female elite. I'm not sure, that just punched Chief real hard. He's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't talk about when I played Halo 4, but what the fuck is wrong with them, like, having Chief get thrown around by these fucking nothing villains all the time?
I don't know, man.
It's really starting to piss me off.
They need to,
like, I think the number one thing you should do is, like, let your main character in a game like this, where you're the one-man army shooting everybody, is be cool. But no, he has to get grabbed by a mini boss brute in a cutscene and choked and thrown around. Fuck you.
Yeah, they try so hard to sell these villains by having them own Chief, and it's like, you can't do that with every villain, man.
Oh,
one of the Spartan killers should throw a punch at Chief, and it should be like Spider-Man trying to punch the Green Goblin.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Apparently, the only studio capable of selling cool shoot man is id now.
Fuck, the Mass Effect 3 DLC does better than this does.
Hell yeah, good job, BioWare.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to even bring up, because it's so meaty. It's just slush. I think the music is bad. I see people putting this as like, well, this is such a great Halo soundtrack. I'm like, this is trash.
Yeah, I'm also mystified by this. I popped into other people playing at stream, and I saw members of chat being like, "This music bangs," and then Bosman's like, "Chat, we got to go to a club sometime. I gotta teach you what music that's good actually sounds."
Meanwhile, my stream goes, "Is there no soundtrack? Because we had a 30-minute span of no music at all."
And it's added because they have the fucking gondola from Halo 2.
Yeah, but they put it in the most boring location known to man and have no dialogue, which is insane.
That, and in Halo 2, when you did that, they usually gave you some kind of distinct song.
Yeah.
Yeah, the soundtrack's not good.
But it has that part where it plays the Halo music and you clap.
Yeah.
And I
remember,
except it's like a lame limp dick version of the Halo music.
I remember during Halo, we had people complain that they play the Halo 3 theme too much in Halo 3, and I'm like, oh yeah, but it feels unique to that game, right? Like it feels like that's their version, and it fits the game like a glove. This felt like it was still just playing the Halo 3 theme.
Like Halo's real, so you can sit there and be like, yeah, the scarabs are attacking. Play some Spanish guitar, make it cool. Like,
that's true. Halo 2 also did that. Halo 3 had moments where things were somber, as there were stakes and characters went to places and said things.
Yeah, Halo 3 had so many levels.
Yeah, as I said, I think in that first big thing, but maybe I said it during the stream or off content. I feel like the older Halo games are so much more technically impressive than this because of their big vehicles and cool set pieces and all sorts of other stuff. I think this is the least impressive Halo game other than open world. And I don't find that impressive in 2021. There's so many open world games.
yeah.
Making a truly mediocre open world game does nothing for me.
I could find that impressive in 2005.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're seeing small videos of Horizon 2 come out, and it's like,
Don't even.
you want to pretend you have an impressive looking open world game right now?
Don't do this. Don't, Bob.
Did you hear the size of that game?
No.
96 gigs.
Jesus. Dude, today they posted some pictures of a town. I didn't expect that at all.
Oh, I didn't see any of that. Oh, man.
Yeah, that game looks unreal. And they posted the PS4 pictures, and I'm like, wow, you still look fucking amazing. Jesus.
I mean,
Hopefully I enjoy playing it.
we don't have to compare Halo Infinite to unreleased games. You could just look at Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. You could look at any other open world game, basically.
Yeah, I know. You can look at Hulk Ultimate Destruction.
And I played
Assassin's Creed 1. Way better.
I played Ghost on a vanilla PS4, and that was amazing.
Yeah, I know. We just kept saying it looks like a next-gen video game.
And it was true, I guess.
Yeah.
Did you guys have anything else you wanted to say about Halo Infinite?
No, we've already spent way too long talking about it, honestly.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It really transparently feels like I always joke and call Street Fighter V story mode the obligation.
Now you know what it truly is.
I am transplanting the obligation to Halo Infinite's campaign.
Yeah.
True. I got joy out of that other one.
Because it so obviously has like this undercurrent of nobody's going to buy this.
Yeah, when most of the reviews are like, it's free, so whatever. Come on.
Whatever.
Yeah.
My score
Free.
goes up because I didn't have to buy it and no one else has
Free
to buy it.
free asterisk.
Oh, yeah, it's not
Some
free at all.
ambiguous amount of money.
It's not free. People should stop pretending it's free.
Buy a package of Fig Newtons and then you can play Halo Infinite.
Is it $1? Is it $16 a month? We'll never know. Okay, Bob, did you play anything else?
I did play some other stuff.
Okay, let's get into it.
I played Deathloop.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
I got to play a little bit of that this week. I was able to compare it directly to Halo. I thought that would give it a big buff.
Okay.
Boy, I was wrong.
Okay, so you're not enjoying Deathloop, I take it.
Yeah, it has the same problem every single Arcane game does, where it feels like I'm playing a PC shooter on a console, and they didn't map the controls right at all. Like, it feels like I'm playing Bioshock 1 on 360.
Whoa.
That's how I feel about the way you aim in this game.
No, the aiming's way better than that.
It just feels rough.
Because when I think you have ported a PC game to console without accounting for controllers, I always think of like Left 4 Dead 2 or 1 or Portal, because all of those just went, what? You pushed the stick and you aimed.
Yeah,
What?
this feels the same level of real clunky. Moving around on terrain and climbing over stuff just doesn't feel good at all. I had to get the shift ability so I could just go over it. Otherwise, it was like, this is unacceptably bad.
I think it's really funny because I'll stare at a tiny rock and I'll be like, I could jump over that, and the game apparently disagrees, so that I have to use the double jump.
But yeah, like his walk can't take him over basically anything. It's like, Colt?
He's got bad ankles.
Colt?
He's got bad ankles.
And then the switching between different weapons is comically bad, like the melee weapon particularly. They have a special button. They have R1, uses your machete.
Mm-hmm.
But it also just switches him fully to the machete weapon, because this is apparently a PC game from like the 1990s where you hit one to pull out your knife.
Yes. That's correct.
Just like Team Fortress 2.
Yeah, where it just, okay, then it takes forever for him to switch back to the gun. The blade, which is the R1 button's also used for stealth kills, will sometimes not even do the stealth kill, and you'll say just smack him with the knife, and then they yell.
That's funny every time that happens, because I keep mashing,
Yes.
and then you murder them.
Right, and like it works out, but it's like, man, this sure is some jank.
You do combo.
So that was disappointing.
Okay.
Then the way the game is structured, where I keep going back to up dog.
Yo, what's up, dog?
I think that they actually call it updom or something, but every time they say it, I'm like, oh, yeah, go back to up dog.
It's so close, so you might as well just call it up, dog. I wish you played this earlier so my brain could be ruined.
But yeah, the game is structured in a way where they send me back to Colt's apartment in Updog 5 times in a row or something, and I'm like, I'm just walking to the same apartment the same way every time, guys. This isn't interesting.
Yeah, the beginning of that game does have you go into Updam like 3 times, and Colt's even like, we're going back. Son of a bitch. Like, he finds out in a different area, he has to go back yet again.
Yeah. It is. It's like, I get that the character's upset, but I'm upset too, so it's not helping.
I was going to ask, have you died yet?
Yeah.
Okay. So you took even more trips to Updam.
I think it worked out so I didn't have to go back.
Okay, well, that's good. That's
okay,
good.
you're like, I died later.
Yeah, every time you leave an area, it takes you to like a multiplayer game win screen.
That is a thing.
Yeah, it's just real weird. And it's like,
To explain this to people who haven't played Deathloop,
yeah, sure.
because Field hasn't. You'll finish the section you're in, right? And when you leave, imagine an end of round thing. So you've got a screen with data in the middle. It says who won, you or what's her
Juliana.
name? What was it?
Juliana.
And you literally have Colt and her walk into the screen space and look at the camera and then mug at each other and then do a bunch of shitty animations.
Yeah, like Colt literally sits there and does like Fortnite fist bumps and stuff.
It's
I'm like,
absolutely like a Fortnite-esque thing, because, you know, players can be Juliana if you play online, so they can be like, I killed you, I did it, floss.
Yeah, I don't think I talked about it on content, but I played online with Juliana, I think once. She killed me at the entrance 17 seconds after I entered an area.
That's funny. I don't think I've ever run into she's getting you that fast.
She threw the sirens and was there immediately. I was so caught off guard. So then I went offline.
yeah, I knew what this would be, so I just turned it to single player mode immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, it keeps sending you back to these same areas repetitively. I eventually, like, I ended up beat the same bosses multiple times, but the AI is kind of so hilariously bad that I don't feel good about it. Like, you go to this one area where it's like a theme park, where it's supposed to be, I guess, a paintball arena almost, where it's a space shootout.
Yeah,
And
that
they give the like 1950 sci-fi movie aesthetic.
You're entering
to-
the Space Mountain.
Yes.
Yeah, and there's like, all this thing is a building with 3 crosswalks going up in the middle of it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I start killing guys and they can't find me.
Yeah.
They're running in circles like, I hope Colt isn't here. And it's like, Guys,
Also,
I am standing in the middle of this room as you slowly come in one at a time, shooting you in the face.
Also, anytime you spin in any major area in Deathloop, there's like 2 health packs in 2 different directions.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true. There's health packs scattered around everywhere.
And giant stations to heal as well.
That's true, yeah.
But yeah, just how incredibly bad this AI is. I wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, I was saving it to talk about it on Game of the Year, but I think this is some of the worst AI I've seen all year.
Yeah, and like when part of your game is I'm a stealth game, you can't have AI this bad.
I mean, you were talking about how comically bad some of the boss fights went for you. The first time I fought the person who gives you the tether ability, she killed herself. I stared at her and she blew herself and her partner up, and I went, well, cool. Now I just got to figure out how to get to that fucking room she just murdered herself in, because I wasn't even in that room.
You talked about that fight. I ended up getting there and I was like, yeah, I can see how she could have killed herself.
Understandable.
The hardest part for that fight for me was getting to her corpse.
Yeah, same.
Like,
because
I was like-
there's a noxious explosive gas that's filling the shed.
Right.
And you need to figure out to shoot the gas with a normal gun for it to all explode and then drop to the floor and open this door and go through.
Oh, I didn't even find that out. I just ended up crawling around the stuff on the top and getting in the window.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you talking about the one where it's like the cult meeting thing?
Allegedly, that's what it says happened. I had no idea until it played a cutscene after the second time I killed her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but that's that one.
Every single time I've killed that one, I'm like, okay, I've jumped over this giant plane. I'm on the other side. You're in that little like room that's like has windows and oversees it. I shoot the door and just like, oh fuck, and then leaves to the other way and leaves and gets in front of me, and then I just shoot them.
But yeah, I just threw 2 grenades in her box and she died. And I'm like, okay, that was a boss fight.
Yeah, that's the energy. Like, either there's a comical misfire on the AI, like I described, where she killed herself,
Right.
or it's the thing you just described, and that's been every boss fight in Deathloop for me.
I mean, that hangar also just confuses all AI. Like, that was another room where I was like, I'm standing here at the top, and everyone's sitting there under me as I shoot them one at a time with a very loud gun.
Yeah.
And they're like, where is Colt?
They're not used to elevation as a concept, Bob.
Apparently.
Everyone's really high. You need to understand this.
Fair. That seems to be the point of that game, is everyone's really fucking high.
Yeah, also the plot's doing nothing for me because they gave me the entire synopsis of it in those E3 trailers, and there's been nothing else. It's like, you need to stop the loop. We're going to have some funny, witty dialogue about Cole talking to his gun. That's all that's happening.
I do like him going over how he's going to name his gun.
I'm like, yeah, you sure did write stuff to try and be funny, but I wish there was something going on. Anything, please.
I kind of like some of it, because you pick up a lot of text logs and a lot of other stuff that characterizes a lot of the characters. Like, that does a better job than the spoken word dialogue a lot of the time. But then every time you reach one of the, what are they called? Because I'm just going to keep calling them influencers.
The Spartan Killers.
Visionaries,
thank you. Every time you reach a visionary, they just sound like a screaming stereotype of whatever character they're trying to be, and I'm like, this is hilarious. Everyone's cranked to 11.
Yeah, I really like the emails when you go to like a terminal and you get to see how they interact between each other, and stuff. And then you have the furry one that's like, I'm the alpha dog, I wear a dog suit. Everyone needs to come to my party, and they're like, we blocked your number.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was really disappointed in this in a lot of ways. I might play a little more, but I think I'm just done.
Okay. How much would you say you've played so far, just as a rough estimate?
I've done like 3 or 4 hours. I gave it a good swing because I'm now into the real loop of the game,
right?
Which took way too long. This game is, again, just like what is depicted by those E3 trailers and stuff. They have no confidence in the player at all.
Yeah, they don't.
Here's 12 tutorial full screens. I am tired of your game before I start playing it.
Yeah, they really hold your hand a little bit too long before you get into the actual loop, which is, here are the 7 quest lines, just go through the chain on each one.
Yeah, I fully upgraded the tether and probably played about 8 hours. And then I was like, okay, I have other games I need to play for Game of the Year. I know how I feel on this.
Yeah.
I can move on.
Because really, their way of progress is like you finish a quest chain of you've positioned this character, so they'll play like an animation of here's the thing that's gonna set them up to fuck them up real bad.
Yeah, I also wasn't really getting what I was doing, that how I was actually advancing the story, other than I'm killing the same guys again. Okay.
Yeah, it is entirely based on like doing the storyline of each character to find out something that's going to move them to another zone, because the whole premise is you can only go to 4 areas throughout the time of day, but you have to kill so many of them that toward the end, and it's very, very light spoilers, but you'll have certain characters where it's I'm setting up a thing so they will die off screen.
Oh my god.
Later.
Jesus.
So you'll like reach the last zone and they're like, that one dude's dead.
Okay, Colt, all you have to do is remember to put the bomb in her lunch yesterday.
Explosion goes off.
Excellent!
That is exactly what one of those is.
Yep. I figured.
Yeah, you're like, okay, let me fuck up this machine so that they're gonna have a bad time later when I'm not even in that part of the city.
But yeah, when I've heard this game described and stuff before, I kind of imagined it being kind of like Way of the Samurai, where how to actually achieve all these things was more fluid and natural. Like you just go to an area and this thing is happening in that area. So cool, I can achieve this. And instead here, it's like, okay, before the mission starts, select this, go to this area. Okay, now you know exactly where to go in this area. And there's nothing, it doesn't really feel like there's any mystery to any of it.
Yeah, so Way of the Samurai is kind of like Majora's Mask in that there's just a place people are going to be at certain times across numerous days.
Right. And you just sort of naturally...
And it plays out seamlessly.
Right. And each time you like move to an area, the time of day changes just as you do it. Instead of feeling like, I need to go to a menu that's going to tell me what the time is changing to and tell me where I need to go in the zone. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was going to be something a lot more naturalistic than this, whereas this is very... weirdly segmented in a way I don't enjoy at all.
I mean, how many times a day are there? 3?
4.
4. Okay, so there are 4 levels and 4 times of day. There's 4 pure mutations of each, thusly, and as such, there are just 16 areas you can go, area times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
so that's a really different thing. Yeah,
yeah. There's like different gimmicks and stuff, but the entire thing, and it's something that I accept as like an issue of the game. There is one solution for this entire game.
Yeah.
By the end, it's like they want you to do one thing to effectively clear what they want in there.
Mm.
And then when I finally beat it, my finished loop was 16 minutes long.
Jesus Christ.
Because you know where everyone is, so you can just pop everything very quickly.
Yeah.
I was also worried that I'd have to replay the beach part of the game every time.
I was
every
also
loop.
scared.
Yeah, I was also
I was very concerned about that. Like, I do not need that.
I feel like there was a version of this game early on where you did that.
Right.
And then they were like, why are we doing this to them?
So yeah, that was...
You need your hack-a-majig.
That was pretty...
So you're glad
bad.
I bought that game so I could lend you the physical copy?
Yeah, no, I would... I already disliked the game a good bit. I would be pretty upset if I spent money on it.
Was this a 60 or a 70?
I believe it was 60.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was,
And
60.
it was like next gen only, but they weren't crazy in that way.
But they're not Sony or what, Activision? Those are the two main ones doing that? Yeah.
And Square Enix.
Yes,
That's true.
Yeah.
Square on it. Got
jumping on the boat.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
The other thing I played this week were those fighting game betas that came out.
God, those were good.
Yeah.
Yep.
DNF Duel was really cool.
That was wicked awesome.
Yeah.
I wish the King of Fighters beta came out at any other time because they didn't have Kula. So that beta went down a little for me on the hype scale. And secondly, DNF Duel launched at the same time, and Ranger's so fucking good.
God, that game's so fucking cool.
I'm so glad watching that trailer. I instantly picked up on, oh shit, this looks really fun. And yeah, it is. It's so fucking fun playing this game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I always like seeing how you can simplify a fighting game but still make it like a lot of fun instead of, we made it just stupid and boring. So now you have like 2 regular attack buttons, 2 special attack buttons, one of which uses meter.
MP.
And you just get to do cool moves really easily. It's low barrier entry, and it looks really stylish, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's just some really good like character animation and some really good flourishes to like every animation that makes it really, really neat. They have that Baroque mechanic thing, the conversion, where you can convert your lost health into MP, so you can like extend combos.
It's really exciting that Aiding got to make the game with this style of graphics. Like, it's really cool to see that, because Aiding's one of the smaller fighting game companies. It feels like it just gets shoved under the rug.
Yeah, they get swept under the rug a lot, and I think that's bullshit. I actually really enjoy Aiding. Aiding they made Bloody Roar, and they've done various things since, like Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Castlevania Judgment, and I feel like they offer some really fun fighting games. And I'm super jazzed they got to work on this engine to make a fighting game. Yeah. I think they deserve to get more in the fighting arena. It seems nuts that they haven't been able to make their own fighting game in a really long time.
Yeah, and that the Capcom hasn't even been using them, which is weird, because Capcom could use a W. Like, they didn't even get to make Infinite.
I know.
Almost certainly would have gone better than Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite if they'd done it.
Probably, yeah. But then that would require them to make models that didn't horrify.
Yeah.
When you look at Morrigan's skin, don't you want to know how brittle and dry it looks?
Oh, yeah. Not the crunchy.
Oh.
I do not like how anyone looks in that game.
Who knows? Maybe Capcom will be like, oh, you guys need this engine, now make us a Darkstalkers game.
I mean, that would be great.
That would make sense.
That would be great.
Yeah.
But yeah, DNF Duel. Really, really cool. One of my most anticipated games of next year. Easily.
Yes.
And then KOF 15. I got to play it last time too, so there wasn't too much more new exciting about this. I got to mess with K Dash, so that was cool. And they also let K999 be playable too.
Yeah, they changed his name though. It was like Crow something.
Yeah, it was something weird. I don't know.
Cronin?
Yeah, something.
But he has every single move.
Yeah, but they're not Akira now.
Yes. It's just, I was really impressed that like every single animation was lining up. I was like, thank you. That game's still ugly. I wish I could just turn off all these background NPCs running at half frame rate.
Yeah, I'd rather be no one than having a bunch of things running at half or fourth frame rate. Like
like, come on.
Yeah. But that was it. That's all I played this week. A lot of going back to Updog.
According to the SNK fandom wiki, K9999 is pronounced as K49.
Yes.
I've seen some people do that. I was like, sure. Mm-hmm. Sure.
I was watching a Maximilian video as he described everything about this, and I was like, K49? What?
Yeah, that's all right.
Well, yeah, you have to be able to actually say it.
I'm going to be starting Kana soon, so that's exciting.
Cool.
Bob and I did a wife swap with our PS5.
Ooh.
So that way I didn't have to buy Kana, and well, he still had to install Deathloop off the disc because I deleted it before I landed my PS5.
Yeah, I was like, man, I didn't get anything out of this deal.
No, you did not.
You're like, hey, Bob, fill up your bandwidth.
I'm like, hey, Bob, look, I saved you $40. Save me $40. I think I paid about $25 for Deathloop.
Okay,
something like
that's good. That game is not a $60 game.
I mean, not for me. I looked at it and knew I wouldn't get $60 out of it at launch, which is why I was waiting just to try it out for Game of the Year. I really need to get back to Ghost. That DLC was immaculate.
Yeah, I should go get that. I think it's on sale, but it probably isn't on sale for upgrades like us. It's probably only on sale if you're buying the new thing.
Yeah. Aside from that, I really can't recall anything else I played. Hey, KZ!
Yes.
What you been playing?
I played some Kana earlier.
Oh, that's cool.
Earlier this week. So maybe like a couple of hours. This one, it looks really good. It feels directly like 6th Gen Never Ended in the way that game kind of plays a little bit, where the controls are really snappy. It doesn't take very long for you to jump immediately into gameplay. And just the way you'll like walk toward a thing and it immediately like starts like this like cutscene and everything. It just had this vibe to me that felt like that, were in a really good way.
Cool.
The combat feels pretty nice. The parry's surprisingly a little bit difficult. I feel like I keep messing up the timing of it, where you can do a shield, and they really want you to get it right before it lands to be able to do like a cool counter to the enemy. But yeah, there's not too much to say about it, except that it looks gorgeous, loads really fast, and I'm looking to dig in more into it. But so far, like, real solid. Like collecting your little scrimblow things that you can put hats on. Do random.
You know, I'm usually opposed to calling things scrimblows, but I think that the rot are pretty scrimblow core.
They absolutely fucking are.
They're definitely lovable scrunkos. The other thing I played this week was Resident Evil Revelations 2. I did Revelations 1 the prior week.
Did you find the experience revelatory?
Yes, of course.
Ah, good.
So, in the same way as the other one that made it episodic because it was a portable, this is episodic because Capcom saw Telltale and said, here's a full-ass game. We will release one episode per week over the course of 1 month.
That doesn't make a whole lot of sense for Resident Evil.
And we'll basically only market the first episode, so it didn't actually move the needle at all. Yeah, this one feels like the most direct we're really trying to make survival horror post RE6, in terms of like, oh man, this is like, you know, scary locales, location type of stuff, but still like a co-op type of experience. It still suffers from the exact same problems that Revelations 1 has, where there's too many enemies in a lot of situations. The bosses have way too much health, and like the bigger encounters have way too much health than they need to. And toward the end, they just said, fuck it. How many enemies that have one hit kills can we put in a section that takes 6 minutes to complete? And when I hit that part of this dude does a grab, he will then do a 15-second long one hit kill animation you can't get out of.
Cool.
Followed by the other insta-kill enemy, an enemy that's invisible.
Based.
Well, you played this in single player, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Maybe things go a little bit smoother in co-op.
Oh, yeah. There's aspects of it where your co-op partner's supposed to help you with the invisible type stuff and things of that nature. But your co-op partner's much less of a combatant. That many of my issues of like damaged, spongy enemies and too many enemies, I don't think would ever get fixed through having a co-op partner.
I know one of the partners, the teenage girl,
Yes.
has a kill downed enemy move, so maybe that would help.
Yeah. I guess in that way that side might become a little bit easier. I think it tries to balance it out because you have one team where they're a bit more balanced because one of them does melee a decent bit, and the other one like has Barry, so it's already pretty lopsided on strong guy with big guns.
Yeah, so when the other team is Barry and little girl.
Yeah,
I doubt the little girl can do much.
Yeah,
but.
you've got Barry and little girl, and then Claire with Barry's daughter, who just goes, "My dad's cringe."
This is pretty accurate.
Yes, 100%. She is also cringe.
Yeah, of course. Have you seen her?
It's like, oh man, you do cringe one-liners, and then I look at the script and I go, God damn it, you guys are so smart. Some of these puzzles are pretty psychotic and funny that they do in here. And just there's some ties to the original Revelations, which I'm like, okay, that's good, because it almost felt like it wasn't even going to pick up at all on anything, and they were just saying it's a smaller Resident Evil, so we'll have that title. Yeah, just overall, I feel like both of these games are like rough in a way that they're leaning more on mediocre due to some of their combat design type of stuff, but they're still in that Resident Evil template that every single Resident Evil game has been for the past like forever. So I'm like, yes, I need another one where I do puzzles, fight things, and there's the lab. And I'm like, I get another one of these. I love when you do this. But yeah, it was. I definitely found it to be a lot better than the first one because it controls infinitely better because it was designed to be on PS3 instead of designed to be on 3DS. So movement, aiming, all of that is just leagues better.
Who could imagine?
Yeah. Yeah, that stuff definitely like helped a ton. And just like RE6, it's yet another one where it's like, let me invest in my skill tree. Let me cash in my points real quick, make my character heal faster. But aside from that, that's all I played this week.
Before we move to Feel, I wanted to bring up a point with Bob.
What's up?
You know how you said Jet Li Rise to Honor is a better game?
Yeah.
Metacritic has Path of Neo as 1 point higher.
The fools.
69 versus the Jet Li 68.
The power of the brand.
There's so many of those games you could do a theme month of them. Just like PS2 games where you sort of have bullet time and do kung fu and have guns.
That's true.
Jesus.
It's secretly a Max Payne month, but don't tell anyone.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking about doing something like that called We Have Max Payne at Home. It would have the first true crime game and it would have Dead to Rights.
God. But hey, Feel, what have you been playing?
I played, we talked about Halo Infinite, but I also played Psychonauts 2.
Ooh.
Cool.
This is a fully realized video game.
Cool.
Weird.
Glad to hear it.
I really enjoyed it. I don't think it's great. I think it's good. It has this thing where it feels like they went, okay, Psychonauts 1 had a lot of really memorable levels that were a pain in the ass to play. So we will have much smoother levels in Psychonauts 2. It also controls much better. But the levels kind of all get mushed together, at least for me, because you're ultimately doing all the exact... None of the levels have any gimmicks. Some of them have like very small gimmicks, but even later on, they kind of give up. It's like, no, just do platforming. And sometimes combat rooms, which are uniformly bad. It's really funny that that Tim Schafer talked specifically about how Microsoft enabled them to have boss fights again, and all of them are bad.
Oh,
That's
no.
unfortunate.
I did not see that coming, honestly.
They are literally all unga bunga, I am giant thing off platform. I will summon guys. Now kill the guys, and now I will do an attack that will make me vulnerable, and you can hit my big weak point.
Oh man,
Do this 3 times.
That means the thing most similar to that we've played recently is Jak 3.
God.
That's exciting.
God, I feel bad for you. Feel the last like 3 big games you played, you're just like, these bosses fucking suck.
At least they're really well presented and have a lot of money in terms of animations and presentation.
Oh, okay.
It's just mechanically they're bad.
Yeah, which can be tolerable depending on how bad it gets,
Nothing in this game is painful. It's really smooth. Almost like debatably too smooth, because I'm already forgetting big chunks of the actual levels.
Huh.
This game was entirely conceptualized in 2005. It's weird that it took 16 years to come out and has the energy of let's just make the same game again that so many sequels did.
Oh, shit. Wow.
I was not ready for that.
Nintendo rolls out Mario 64 2.
Yo! The audience for that is you.
Yes.
It does feel much better to control, but it's like there's only 3 powers you didn't have in the original game, and they're all like wolf door powers.
Oh, no. Come on.
Like you won't use any of them in moment-to-moment gameplay.
That's unfortunate.
They're all just like, get past this specific kind of obstacle. It is very funny that Rasputin is voiced by Richard Stephen Horvitz, voice of Invader Zim. So they included Invader Zim reference in the game that you can pay in-game money to turn off because it's bad.
What?
Now, I'm not going to say referencing Invader Zim is always bad, but
It's going to be about Gur, isn't it?
Yes, it is. You get a little guy that is voiced by Gur's voice actor.
oh my fucking
and says very similar things, and you can buy an upgrade for him that makes him shut up.
Oh my God.
I was really stunned by how much humanity and how much I didn't hate any of the writing in this. This game is infinitely better writing-wise than every single Gearbox game. It is and every BioWare game.
The bar's never been lower, baby.
Fucking BioWare's like, we're not even near this. Why you keep hitting us? Please.
But yeah, like this is very much like written like a good 90s cartoon. It even has like genuine moments of like, wow, that was actually a very insightful thing you said about human relationships or like mental health. Like that's neat. There's these really and Raz is a really endearing character because there's this character that's in the first game also, and he's like a strung out, neurotic, androgynous European guy. His name is Sasha 9, and like he's repressed and constantly has a cigarette in his hand. And Raz thinks he is the coolest person to have ever lived. to the point where like you have to go to the because the hub for this game is the Psychonauts headquarters. In the first game, it's the summer camp he's at. But you find like that the barber shop in the Psychonauts headquarters, and Raz is like, well, they think it's weird if I go in and ask for the Sasha 9. Because he thinks this guy is so cool. And I'm like, that's really endearing. Because he really looks up to this guy who's kind of a dipshit.
Yeah, it's real.
And there's a lot of good writing moments like that. Because in the first game, every time you get a new power, you get like this cutscene where like Raz stands on like a pedestal and like the camera spins around him and like the dramatic music cue plays as he poses. The first time that happens in this game, he's in the middle of a classroom doing it, and everybody's like, what the fuck are you doing? And he gets interrupted. And the thing that really like hammers it home is like, just make the same game again, is the first new power you get has a unique usage in the place you get it, and then never again. Because you get the power to connect thoughts to each other. So you're inside your teacher's head, and it's like cilantro connected to delicious. and you change it to be connected to disgust, and you get her inner monologue like, ugh, cilantro tastes like soap. I don't care that it's good for me. And then you can change, you can connect cilantro to cleanliness. And she's like, you gotta always make sure to wash your produce, especially cilantro. Don't forget the soap. But then that's the only area you can do that in. Normally it's just used to connect to a thought high up and get there.
Okay.
Jack Black's fucking wasted in this. He's only in this game because Tim Schafer wanted to hang out with Jack Black again.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Like the character he plays isn't even like a Jack Black-esque character.
Aw.
But yeah, like you can tell this game was written in 2005 because like there's a really big focus on the Romani stuff. Because Raz is Romani. He's from like a traveling circus family.
Mm-hmm.
And they really lean into that in Psychonauts 2 in a way that they maybe wouldn't have if this game was written in the past decade. The only thing that I can detect in this, because I confirmed that most of this was written in 2005. It's not just me making shit up. The only thing that feels like it was added is like the Tumblr crew.
What?
Excuse me?
Because Raz is an intern in this game of the Psychonauts. So all the other interns are like teenagers who are older than him, and they all have like very like, we think this is what young people would like characters to be type thing to them. They honestly remind me of the Burger King Kids Club.
Not again.
Because they're all like, we're the ethnically diverse and some of us are disabled group of teens.
That's 80s core. That's what that.
Like one of us skateboards and one of us always has a yo-yo. And I'm like, oh, okay, Tim Schafer.
Is that literal? This sounds like this was made in 1995 and not 2005.
Oh no, that's very literal.
Oh.
I might need to watch whatever documentary they made for this because have you seen Inglourious Bastards?
Yeah.
And you know the end where he's like, where Brad Pitt's like, this is a masterpiece, and then it immediately hard cuts to directed and written by Quentin Tarantino.
Yes.
What a genius movie.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
This is how Psychonauts 2 cuts to its credits. Where it's like written in the biggest text possible, no other text on screen, written by Tim Schafer.
And what is the last line? This sucks. Written by Tim Schafer.
No, this doesn't suck. All the writing in this is fine.
That
Like, I wish Tim Schafer would shut the fuck up more and just let his work speak for him, because and I did like this game, but I have to give the backhanded compliment that I wrote down.
Oh no.
Turns out all it takes for Tim Schafer to make a good game is 3 times the time and money he thought it would.
Yeah.
I hope they get to make at least something like of this tier again. Like, I hope Microsoft doesn't just immediately slit their throat.
Yeah, I hope all the studios do well at Microsoft.
Yeah.
Because after Halo Infinite, it's now in question. Like, this one released on everything, so obviously they would want to sell copies so that it's not compromised. It doesn't feel compromised in any way.
Right.
But who knows what the next one could be? And Double Fine already had the problem of literally nothing they released between Psychonauts 1 and now went smoothly and came out complete.
It sounds like, from all the deep interviews I've watched with Tim Schafer and other things, that they're literally looking to get into that era of digitally distributed games they did because of Game Pass.
Those were all so lame.
I can't remember the names of all of those games. In fact, I'm struggling to remember one. But
Broken Age, The Cave.
Oh, before that even. The Matryoshka doll game, the Siege game, which they had to change the name of.
What was the Costume Party on?
Costume
Quest.
Quest they also include in that era.
Costume Quest, there was...
Basically, digital distribution pre... Kickstarter.
Yeah, Xbox Live Arcade releases.
Yes, PS3 digital sort of things. That's the era.
That's
it
the
sounds
worst
like
thing.
They miss.
That's the worst thing.
I mean, it beats Brutal Legend, but
but Brutal Legend also wasn't done.
Yep.
Like it could have been fine if it was done. Did anybody alive fucking play Rad?
No,
I looked at it and I was like,
went, no.
I was like, I don't trust you. That's the number one feeling I had coming out of that. I'm like, I don't trust you. I want
its Wikipedia page has literally nothing about it, so I can't imagine anybody really gave a shit about it.
That's rough.
But it's like if Microsoft was smart, they'd be like, okay, you make our things like Sackboy's Big Adventure, like you make 3D platformers for us now.
Right. That would be great.
Because their style of writing really works for it. This game isn't innovative at all for the genre, but it controls fine. The thing I will say about the controls is that you only get 4 of your 8 powers at once, so you constantly have to go into a submenu to switch them, which I don't like. I think because Y, the top button, isn't used at all in gameplay.
Okay.
They should have just let me hit that to switch between 2 sets.
Yeah, that would have made sense. You know, like Dawn of Sorrow.
Or even use the D-pad. I'm not sure I can't remember if the D-pad is used for anything else. Oh, it's used. I think one of them is used for like a health restore, but they should have made like one of the other ones switch between sets. Or maybe that exists and I didn't go deep enough in some kind of menu to find it. But yeah, if you have Game Pass, yeah, play this. I'm not sure I would, unless you loved Psychonauts 1. I'm not sure I can say $60.
Yeah.
But for some ambiguous amount of money,
Buy some Fig Newtons.
it's pretty great. I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, no, what are you talking about? You need to go buy some sour gummy worms.
Ooh.
Those are the ones I have them right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
it's
a bag of warheads.
I think that was the only thing that actually promoted Psychonauts 2 was that it had a tie-in with one of those sour gummy things.
Yeah, that figures.
Yeah, I've seen that. It was tying with that, Halo, and Destiny 2.
Yeah, it was a fucking mixed bag.
Yeah, it was weird.
It was trolley sour crunchy crawlers that had the tie-in with Psychonauts.
Oh, fucking
2.
of course.
Yep, that's it. I see it at the gas station all the time.
Yeah, right now Halo, I keep getting served Halo ads on Twitter that are for Hot Pockets, and they're like, eat your Hot Pockets and play Halo on your QLED television.
Look, you've already settled food-wise.
You're gonna settle eye-wise.
But that's all I played.
Oh, then we're talking about the Pod Lords.
Fuck.
Casey fell down that well. Somebody go get KZ while I prepare the Pod Lords. Yes, that's right. The Pod Lords. Pod Lords such as E. Lee Broyles, Corey Brown. Enjoy this present. It's out of this galaxy. Red Blaze 27. Juicifrost, the insufferable troglodyte. Suzu Shiro. Emperor Zero. Shibuya protesting the parade of powderers.
Good.
Feliz Navidad, Gigaboys. Danny Richardson. Hey, as of tomorrow, the man who assaulted me will be sentenced and it only took a whole year. Well, that's good news!
Right.
Woo! 101 Shades of Wonderful Remastered. Working 12-hour shifts every day for the rest of the year, so I shall remain Gary of Light.
So much end of year closure.
WTF Spider-Man. This podboard upset me.
Uh-oh.
Canadian Arby's poutine dip. Really hard to eat other than it's just poutine on top of a bun with beef in it. How dare you give it a 7.5 out of 10.
You need to understand. He was going through Pod Lords, started freaking out. I walk over. He's like, we got to get... Fuck Canada! We had a crisis in this house.
I'm so upset. Why is America so anti-poutine?
It does look really good.
It looks fucking exceptional.
We're going to drive out a town over just to get this.
Just gotta move to Canada.
I guess. I think it has something to do with a thing called Padre Roo. I don't know.
I expect that to just be Jiren.
Grande Padre Roo.
Yes.
DFW 3K. Final Fantasy XIV stops new sales and it's all fine and dandy. But when Titanfall 1 does it, everyone loses their mind.
I can't believe they had to pull all the Titanfall 1 ads they had prepared.
Shiny Mew and the homies wish everyone a happy and safe holidays from within their globe prison.
Good luck, man.
Shall Bidoof escape? We don't know. Kristen. Tonberry Lou Who and the Grinch. Happy holidays from the Tonberry guy. Oh, this was the last Tonberry I ever needed.
Oh, yeah.
When you said Lou Who, I was honestly thinking it'd be a Tumberry Lou Boo. Until the rest of the text came in.
And then you're like, oh boy. God Hand Steam Deck Edition. Santi Kunai. Anyways, Gundam 0080 is great Christmas media and has some of the best mobile suit designs. It is not at all depressing. Nope. Merry Christmas.
What?
Merry Christmas.
Kyle Bjork. Zilter. Tsukimi Hara. Whoa. Iron Aggro. Bligda Blue. Schligda's Poo. Come, Futsaki, become my legs as we deliver gifts together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Monster Hunter, Ryzen, and Raiden. Characters in cute Christmas outfits. What are the best parts of the holidays? Merry Christmas, Banny. Oh, and the GigaBoots, too.
Yeah.
Jordan. Cooper Tank. I'm come for your head, Catman. You think you're the first? You think I got this job because I'm cuddly and cute? God, that is horrifying.
Yeah, it's rough.
Ooh.
POV, you didn't get Moment of Valor on your last party member in Darkest Dungeon. AG is a podlord again. It's a Christmas miracle. Bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing. Patreon figured it out. Bing bong, bing bong.
This time you are.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And remember, the word pod doesn't have to end in Aru. BN12. If two Santas were on the roof and one pushed the other off, would that be fucked up or what?
I guess.
Floppy around and find out. Indigo Sykes. Have a happy holiday, boys. Evil Lucario. Clutchins. A raccoon that's ready for the new year.
Yeah.
He looks so fancy.
Yeah.
My grandmother once said, I am the center of the world, Mr. Anderson, so I will save the world. So is your name Mr. Anderson, or it's just... Lamu. Aspiring Bamani ambassador Shinji16 wants to remind you that you matter, you are valid, and you deserve to be happy. Congrats to the Kellogg's workers for the successful strike, and thank God I could buy frosted mini wheats again.
Are you that person that would die if they eat anything else?
Apparently.
I'm waking up at 3 p.m. until the strike's over.
Shoot this, export that. Maria Kondenzavna Eve just wants to play Blaze Blue, for God's sake. And Virvarm, thank you very much to our podlords.
Thank you.
Like Podlords.
Thank you, Podlord.
And podlord.
And if you'd like to become a Podlord, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/gbpodcast. For as little as $5 a month, you get access to many benefits such as early access to Chugging Bleach and Mondo Cool, our 2 anime review podcasts, extended armchair dev pitches and gamer premonitions when those shows' formats force us to leave ideas on the cutting room floor, and a Patreon exclusive show, 1 per month, where you get to vote on a good or bad thing that we have to watch and then talk about. That's patreon.com/gbpodcast. And if you don't have any money, you can always help us out by telling your friends. And if you don't have any friends, your country can start a war with another country and undergo hundreds of years of debilitating, horrible agony at each other's, armies. And then you can end the cycle of violence and at the peace meeting, tell these people that you didn't really forgive, but you understand that you just have to actually stop because that's how the cycle of violence works, and be like, here's this podcast network.
Thank you. That's a good promo spot.
I'm getting scared. This is escalating very quickly.
Look, I'm just saying, if we need to put our name out there somewhere, maybe that's the place.
Sure.
So we've got news. Not that much, actually.
Yeah.
As it turns out.
It's a holiday.
Yeah, it's Christmas week. We're going to start with Bob.
Sure. I have one news article. the Dragon Quest game called Infinite Strash Dragon Quest The Adventure to Die. It's been delayed to an unannounced date. They also put out a full boss fight video. It looks a little rough.
It still looks pretty rough.
I thought he fucked that title up. I looked up, and weirdly enough, he did not fuck up the part I thought he did.
I knew people would be like, Strash? It's like, it's Infinity Strash.
It is Strash because in Dai's Big Adventure, his teacher teaches him the ultimate move, which is the Avon Strash, which is a combination of the words strike and slash because it's an anime. It's an anime from like 1992.
And also it's Dragon Quest. All their moves are like boom and bang and kaboom.
Yes.
Which is funny because in the game, because that move actually directly got transferred into the games where it's just called Giga Slash.
Oh, well, that's a much better name.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
I wonder if they're gonna if this anime ever gets dubbed, if they're going to change it to that, because Strash does not sound good.
It doesn't. Whoa. We're gonna move on to KZ next. KZ.
Okay, we got some fighting game stuff. Melty Blood type Lumina's first DLC character was revealed. Dead Apostle Noel. I know nothing about this at all.
Noel.
This is really funny. This is really, really funny because my understanding is this is a character people knew was in the remake, but didn't know was evil. Because it was like them in normal clothes. So then it's like, here she is in sicko mode before anybody gets the chance to play this game in English.
Yeah, this character is not an Echo Arc. They have failed me.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly where I'm at.
Neko arc will be the moneymaker at the end.
I mean, yeah, honestly, I'm just like anything. All these new characters, like, no, I don't care what you added for your remake of whatever Tsukihime. Come on, just give me more Multi-Blood characters. What are you doing?
See, I'm waiting for like season 2 where they're just like, we're just gonna start putting in more Fate characters.
maybe they'll do that.
Here's Berserk.
But before we get to that, I need more Multi-Blood characters, like girl who wears jeans and a white shirt and then is like the strongest grappler ever.
And I need Shiki Tono too.
Yeah, we need what's his name? Nikki Kono or something?
Oh, I was making a joke, Bob.
I'm sorry. You're
Unfortunately, it's a landmine out
Get a
there.
load of this guy.
damn it! He thought the main character didn't have a crazy alter form.
No, I assumed they did, but I wasn't ready for Nikki Nono or whatever the fuck you just said, which made me nervous.
I should look up what his name is.
Yes, you should.
I got other news here.
Okay.
DNF Duel officially is going to be launching summer of next year. They showed through footage 3 new characters.
Yeah.
There was like one of them was like Ghost Blade, and he has like a blue arm, and all the footage of him in the actual in the actual Dungeon Fighter Online, he's just doing like Virgil combos and like giant screen wide slashes and stuff, and it looks sick.
That is the character everyone on stream when we were playing was like, yeah, they need to add him.
Yeah. Well, he's like the coolest dude over there. Then they added this like female gunner mechanic that like uses bits and other things to like nuke the screen and stuff. And the other dude that they introduced seems to be also a part of like the Hitman line of characters. Like he's a subclass within that. And his super in Dungeon Fighter Online, which I imagine is also like this, he just summons a motorcycle and blows everything up.
Okay, I found it. It's Shiki Nanaya.
Oh yeah, Shiki Nanaya.
Oh, okay.
Nanaya business.
What if it was Tonono?
No casual.
But yeah, it was good to have a confirmation of even more characters for this. They're all like hits. I'm very excited for DNF Duel. Oh yeah, the other big piece of fighting game news. Dragon Ball FighterZ gets a new DLC character. It's Android 21 Lab Coat Edition.
Thank you. They finally give us the good design for Android 21 in game.
Fuck you.
Civil War.
They announced there was like, oh cool, the Toriyama did a cool new design. Then they turned it into some weird boo thing, and I'm like, okay.
I guess like
Yeah, they make the design good.
They made the design. I guess I side with Lab Coat. I don't know.
At the same time, it's like, yeah, you still haven't added to rollback, so whatever.
Actually, I need to check.
Yeah.
Which one of
haven't
you
had
two has
rollback.
Iron Man on your team? That'll decide which side of the Civil War I end up on.
You know, I have to. I figured out what my side is. I've thought about all the times Feels hit me with that Majin 21 combo, so I have to be on the side of Lab Coat. where he fucking sets up the combo, then hits you with the fucking food beam, and I'm like, this fucking sucks. Never mind.
I believe the term is ingratiating. That move is ingratiating.
Oh, sure. God damn it. Let's see. Also, we got yeah, I didn't write a lot of details on this one because it kind of just glazed over. Embracer Group just 8 more companies this week. The biggest one of those was just like all of Dark Horse.
Yeah.
They also grabbed like the Western division of Perfect World, which is so weird.
Yeah, I didn't recognize some names, so the only one that really that made alarm bells go off was Dark Horse. I was meaning to like look through that a bit more, but you know.
Yeah, I think they are now the third largest publisher of comic books in America.
Yeah, they're really gonna try becoming another Disney.
Yeah, it's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have Embracer in our news at least once a month.
It's usually buying more than one company.
Yeah, it's usually here was what their newest shopping spree was.
It's crazy.
So everyone looking forward to the Mask video game?
Yes, absolutely.
Only if they had Jim Carrey.
Sure.
They either need to get Jim Carrey or they need to do it exactly like the comic book where it's hyper violent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I could see Darksiders style for the fucking mass comic book. Sure.
And my last piece of news for this week was Final Fantasy VI's Pixel Remaster got delayed to February. They were targeting all of these to come out this year. This one's going to slip to February. It kind of makes sense. They released a couple of screenshots. They're redoing the graphics on certain scenes in this game entirely. Where they're like, here's this opera scene, and instead now they've like done how the castle looks in it to where it almost looks like it's Octopath in a way. Like in terms of like 3D, 2D presentation a little bit with the sprite work. And like that opening scene of them overlooking Narsh at the start of the game, they've like redone parts of how that looks. So it looks like they're putting a little bit more work into this one, which is exciting. So yeah, just wait a couple of more months for that, which, you know, that's fine. Square seemingly wants to release 18 video games between February and April of this year or something, so that's exciting.
I bet like 4 of those are going to be PS1 remasters.
I was just thinking about how technically due to different publishing partners they had like 4 things launching in March.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, Stranger Paradise, Chocobo GP, Triangle Strategy, and I was trying to remember what the other thing was.
Babylon
Oh,
Fall,
I didn't know
think.
Triangle.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
no wonder I forgot. But yeah, like some of that stuff like Nintendo published. I think like half of that is.
I didn't know that Triangle Strategy was that soon. I expected that to be later.
Probably should be. But we'll see.
Maybe it'll get delayed. You never fucking know.
No, don't worry. The other console versions of it, when it goes on like Xbox and PC, will be later because even Octopath is on Xbox. But yeah,
I assumed this one was just on everything at launch. I guess I'll be waiting.
yeah, no, this is another like Nintendo takes it at the start and then Square releases it later. Which the fastest turnaround we've had for that is Bravely Default 2, which hit PC like 5 months after.
Yeah, it's really discouraging for actually buying these.
Yeah, especially since I know they're going to end up being like they're aiming on 30 on all of these smaller scale RPG things, and then I can just wait and get it on the PC or Xbox. It seems like there's something in the writing that just doesn't get it to PlayStation at all. I know I can get them to run better that way. But that's all of my news for this week.
Okay, we're going to go to Phil for his news. By the way, I had no news. I kept looking at, there are 2 different times this week I did the recap, and I just went, there's nothing.
Yeah, there's not even like some granular technical thing. We got nothing.
Let's start with the thing that technically isn't news, but I want to do right now because it'll be funny.
Okay.
We haven't seen the Queen of England in like 2 months.
Oh, fuck, I forgot she went into her chrysalis cocoon.
And
But she's fine, though.
they're saying shit like, oh, we might not see her until like February. So here's our gamer premonition. Is the queen dead and they're not going to tell us until they can say her reign was not 69 years? Because if they came out and said it now,
Oh no!
it would be 69 years.
Oh,
So Dan, is she dead?
Why do I have to? I'm going to say the Queen of England, as of this recording, is not dead.
December 22nd, 2021.
9 p.m. That's what I'm going to say.
Central Standard Time.
KZ,
Okay, number 1. This is the second version of that queen, and this one has already died. They're currently growing number 3.
Bob.
She's dead, but we'll never know.
How will we never know? Will they just be like, no, she can't come out? She's totally still alive, though.
Yes, it'll last. Okay, we won't know for a whole another year.
Dude, they can't. They're like, we're not doing this shit again. Where you see her in the car like the other dude in the British royal family that looked like a ghoul from Fallout.
Yeah, they just it's an open casket. Basically, it's like that Bruce Lee movie where they use
Oh my
actual
God.
open casket footage, but it's for the queen.
Oh my God.
This
It's like,
is
yeah, she's fine.
And I will go with she is also dead.
Okay. Well, this is a
Yep.
great gamer premonition.
yeah. Shout out to that HBO Family Guy-esque show, The Prince, based on the royal family. The queen is quirky in that she says curse words.
Do not shout out that.
What are you doing, man?
The writers may find you and may think you're being genuine.
Yeah, I'm like, think fast, flashbang.
Tencent acquired Turtle Rock, the developer of Back 4 Blood.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, does this mean that game did really bad and now they're in hard times so they can easily be grabbed up, or is this something normal?
That's what it feels like, because people, it feels like the week that came out, it was like player base this much, player base 1/10 of that much, player base of Left 4 Dead 2 gone up 10,000%.
Yeah, it did not hit. Usually I see some sort of a splash.
They had some kind of fucking weird ass progression system nobody liked. That shit will kill your game.
Yeah, like this is a full $60 game too, so it doesn't even have the exclusive. Well, it's free to play. Maybe people will stick with it.
I didn't even hear about a progression system. I just heard people say half the levels aren't good.
The thing I always heard is like you have perks, and the perks are cards, and you get them randomly from card packs, and you can level up the perks. And I'm like, that's too many systems. What are you doing? And then apparently a lot of people agreed that was too many systems.
More like back for money.
Didn't work out. Atlas and Sega do not have their shit together. Persona 4 Ultimax will not have rollback. They said they might add rollback in a future patch, to which I respond, see you at that patch.
Yeah, and then it'll be $5, and I'll be like, whoa, what a bargain.
Yeah.
They also made the most insane comment I've ever seen.
What?
Which is them saying, Persona 4 Golden did really well on PC, so we ported this game to consoles.
I fucking love this company. They're the dumbest.
This is real dire.
They're like, hey, you finally got it. Persona 4 for Switch. Let's go.
Yeah, this makes no sense. It's not surprising either, just because like Sega just released that new Virtual Fighter and didn't have rollback because they're insane.
Yeah.
I don't know how there's at least a couple little companies.
For people who are like, this is actually, because I see this take where it's like, people don't actually care, it's just a buzzword, people run around and yell. Guilty Gear Accent Core, which is a game that as a default will have far fewer people wanting to play it than Persona 4 Ultimax, got like a 1,700% jump in people playing it on Steam when it added rollback.
The exact same thing happened with BlazBlue 2 weeks ago.
As soon as it got announced, within 2 hours, it beat its Steam launch peak.
It's like you're so stupid.
Yeah, I don't know how these companies can see that sort of thing happen and just be like, yeah, it doesn't actually matter. It's like, no.
Well, somebody at Atlas is involved who is 95 years old and is in the golden throne from Warhammer 40K, where they're like in a state of undeath.
Yeah, and then Sega Europe, the ones that are usually in charge of of a lot of these things, go, I hate everything. I hate this company.
Sorry, guys. The series of beeps that we have to have a priest who is raised to interpret them tell us what they mean from the Atlas executive says no.
They're like, for you to for your feedback on how we should do things, Westerner, to work, we're gonna put you in a Shin Megami Tensei-esque labyrinth with a serial killer.
No, not Sector E from Strange Journey. There's so many teleporters.
And that's not even the worst one in that game. It's just everyone dropped it because that was the worst. It's like,
that's not even to the point where there's the advanced darkness.
Oh. Yeah, that sucks. It's really unfortunate that so many Arc System Works fighting games were licensed to other things, so it's like they can't do it. They have to ask mom first, and then mom's stupid.
Yeah. It doesn't matter how much success they're seeing on every front that uses this.
Because a lot of people are like, this is an Arc System Works fighter, so of course DNF Duel was going to have it. It's like, no, Aiding made this, and Nexon owns this IP, so it was very much a risk until the last 6 hours when they said,
no matter how much people like mulled about Chinese companies getting into gaming, they seem to mostly understand that you catch more flies with honey.
What, and not fecal matter?
Like, they seem to understand that the carrot gets you a lot more sales than the stick.
I like carrots. I like carrot cake.
Bamco continues to trademark things related to Klonoa.
Good.
Yeah, they've been doing this for like a couple of years. They should fucking.
So they have trademarked
Throw 'em a bone.
Klonoa Fantasy Reverie series in Canada and Europe, which makes me assume they're just going to release them both. Or them all. I don't know how many there actually are. I think there's 2, but there might be more.
There's the Game Boy Advance game as well.
Oh, okay.
There
that'd be neat.
is...
We played that for like...
Yeah, there's 2. There's 2 and some spinoffs.
We played the Game Boy Advance game for 15 minutes on a stream once.
Klonoa is such a cool character. Like,
Yeah.
why has he been gone for so long? on.
Because 7th Gen said no platformers, no fun.
No funds.
That character, that's a game series I've done nothing with, but I'm like, that's a character design I like in a game I haven't played.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, you look cool. I have no real desire to play you, but you look cool. You have like a hat.
Klonoa was great. I love that game.
Yeah.
Love the PS2 one.
Oh, I didn't need to look up the PS2 one. Was like, it got runner up for best platform game that year. It lost to Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Yeah,
Right.
let's go. Matrix.
Yeah, people sure did love that.
Wonder how 7th Gen happened.
Yeah, it's a mystery.
And finally, Twisted Wonderland, the Disney mobile game where you kiss boys based on Disney villains,
Yes.
is being localized.
I remember when this first started popping up and you kept posting designs and I'm like, oh shit. Calm down, Hades.
It feels like Disney's loosening up a little bit, because I feel like normally they'd want to keep this away from America as hard as possible.
Yeah.
It becomes increasingly hard after they're like, yo, we're making an anime on it.
Yeah, I guess that is hard. I guess it's probably like Crunchyroll's gonna pick this up, so here's the game. Let's get some money.
That's really funny. I'm curious how well this does.
Yeah.
I think there is a strong appeal for this worldwide.
Yeah, a third of my timeline celebrated this announcement.
And that's all our news.
Wacky.
Not much.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's,
Yeah, not much.
And end of year pickups. We know how this goes.
Yeah.
Speaking of not much, it's that week again, which means the week after you hear this, there will not be a big thing to mention.
mm-hmm.
Because we always take that week off. So
Oh yeah, I was
you're
try-
new-
Yeah, I was trying to remember if it was like the last week of the year, or like the first week of the next year, or something.
It's
like
The split this year's real weird.
that. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're in
yeah,
hell.
split this for
But yes, it'll be the 3rd of January.
Okay.
Just to be absolutely crystal on this.
There we go.
Ah, okay, so there's just nothing on that day.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, okay, so we got one more left. One more left in the tank. Crazy.
No, this comes out next Monday.
Yeah, what are you talking
We're
about, man?
displaced by time. We record this and release it 4 days later. You understand how much that looks insane on a calendar? You're going to make me count, Bob? That's unreasonable.
I'm looking at a calendar right
The
now. I
queen
don't-
might be dead right now.
Bob, you
It's
can't
not
imagine how
mine.
this
It's
looks
not-
in
no,
front of you right
that's,
now.
that's almost a certainty, man.
You see, also, I was like, oh man, how long do I have to wait until I don't have to edit the Big Thing Dimension podcast? So I was like, surely I have one more left in the tank.
It's 10 more years. I'm sorry. You have to wait 10 more years.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Big Think Dimension. If you would like to support us, head on over to www.patreon.com/gbpodcast, where you can get extra podcasts and early access to our anime podcast, Chugging Bleach and Mondo Cool. Head on over there and become a $5 backer or podlord today.
Mm-hmm.
The executive producers for this month of GigaBoots are Esme, E. Lee Broyles, Star Falcon, Spaceman Spiff, Red Blaze 27, Brendan O'Sullivan, Live Action Muito Real, Completely Normal Adam, Cooper Tank, Zilter, and Virvarm. Thank you very much to our executive producers, and also these patrons. If you want to become an executive producer for an obscure but powerful YouTube channel, head on over to patreon.com/gigaboots today.